You're a worthless leech, my brother spat, throwing my clothes out. Get lost, nobody needs you, his wife sneered. I didn't argue, just left. 3 days later, they were frantic. My inbox flooded with 30 unread emails begging for help. I never thought I'd be writing this, but here I am. Up until 3 months ago, I, 32M, had a decent job in IT, my own apartment, and what I thought was a good relationship with my brother Daniel, 36M, and his wife Flora, 34F. Then the layoffs hit our company. You know how it goes these days. I had savings, but I'd made the mistake of helping Daniel and Flora with the down payment on their house last year. $45,000, nearly everything I had. They promised to pay me back monthly, showing me all these spreadsheets about their budget. Family helps family, Daniel said. I should have gotten it in writing. When I lost my job, they offered to let me stay with them. Just until you get back on your feet, Flora said, all sweet smiles. I agreed to pay $800 monthly in rent and handle all the tech stuff around the house. The first month was okay. I set up their entire smart home system, security cameras, thermostats, garage door, everything running through their phones. Even got Flora's home office set up for her remote work. But things started changing. I'd catch whispers, see them go quiet when I walked in. Flora would make these little comments about some people taking advantage. Daniel started forgetting to include me in family dinners. Yesterday, I overheard them in the kitchen. He's such a loser, Flora was saying. Living off us like a parasite. I know, Daniel laughed. Remember when he actually believed we'd pay back that house money? As if we'd waste money on his sad ass when we could buy new furniture. I recorded it on my phone. Old habit from my IT security days. Document everything. That's when I noticed their house payments to me had actually been going to Best Buy, Pottery Barn, and some fancy landscaping company. This morning, everything exploded. I was calmly making coffee when Flora started screaming about me using their sugar. Daniel came downstairs all red-faced. You ungrateful piece of shit, he snarled. Mooching off us, acting entitled? I didn't say a word, just watched them. Flora started throwing my clothes down the stairs. You're a worthless leech, Daniel spat. Get out. Nobody needs you, Flora sneered. Get lost. I stayed quiet, picked up my laptop bag and walked out. They probably expected begging or arguing. Instead, I texted my friend Carson, who runs a construction business. He's letting me crash at his place. Here's what they don't know. I've got copies of every financial transaction, every nasty text, every recording, the receipts showing where my repayments really went. Most importantly, I've got proof of Daniel forging my signature on some documents. Noticed that last week when checking their paper files. I've also got complete admin access to their entire home system. Every password, every backup, everything they need to run their precious smart home and Flora's work setup. They think I'm some helpless loser. Fine. I'm writing this from Carson's guest room. My phone's been blowing up. 30 unread emails already. Apparently their garage door won't open. Their security cameras are glitching. Flora's whole home office setup is mysteriously having issues during her big client meetings. They made their choice. Now it's my turn. Update coming soon. And trust me, this is just the beginning. Edit. Some of you asked why I helped with the house. Our parents died when we were young. Daniel raised me. I thought that meant something. Guess I was wrong. Update 1. First, thanks for all the support on my previous post. A lot has happened, and I've been methodically working on my next steps from Carson's guest room. Remember those 30 emails? They've multiplied. Daniel and Flora have been bombarding me through every channel possible. Texts, Facebook messages, even LinkedIn. At first, it was angry demands to fix their tech issues. Now they're switching between threats and desperate pleading. Here's where it gets interesting. While organizing my documentation, something I always do, I discovered more than just the forged signature on those house documents. Flora's been running an unlicensed clothing alteration business from their garage. She's been taking cash payments, no taxes reported. Found her handwritten ledger when I was cleaning last month. Stupid of her to leave it in the shared office space. Carson's been incredible through all this. Yesterday over beers, he connected me with some people who needed IT security work. Turns out, my skills are in high demand locally. I've already lined up 3 clients, including, ironically, their next-door neighbor who's been having mysterious issues with their smart home setup. The same system I installed for Daniel and Flora. Speaking of their house, remember the $45,000 I mentioned? Well, I did some digging through my old bank statements. The transfer was labeled as a house down payment loan in my banking app. Got screenshots of all their messages promising repayment. Their social media posts about the house purchase conveniently mentioned family helping family. Flora even tagged me in a Facebook post thanking me for making their dream home possible. All archived now. The neighborhood Facebook group has been entertaining. Flora's been posting frantically about needing tech help. Every recommendation they get either costs triple what I charged or can't figure out the system. One guy actually made their smart thermostats go haywire. Now their energy bill is through the roof. Not my problem anymore. Daniel tried showing up at Carson's place yesterday. Carson's security cameras, which I helped install of course, caught him pacing outside for 20 minutes. He looked rough, wrinkled shirt, messy hair. Very different from his usual perfect appearance. He left a note calling me childish and demanding I grow up and help family. The best part? Our aunt called me today. Apparently, Daniel and Flora have been telling everyone I abandoned them after they generously housed me. I simply played her the recordings from the last day, then mentioned the furniture they bought with my loan repayment money. She went very quiet. An hour later, their lovely Facebook post about me was deleted. I'm not doing anything illegal. Just letting their tech problems solve themselves naturally. Meanwhile, I'm building my client base, documenting everything and watching their perfect life show its cracks. Flora's home business is struggling without reliable internet. Daniel's smart door locks randomly engage during their dinner parties. Carson suggested I start my own company. Already got the paperwork ready. The name, Phoenix Security Solutions. Rising from the ashes feels appropriate. Oh, and that forged signature I mentioned? I've got high-resolution scans saved in 3 different cloud locations, just in case. They thought I was worthless? I'm about to show them exactly what they lost. More updates coming. Things are about to get interesting. Edit. Several people asked about legal advice. Don't worry, I'm 2 steps ahead. Everything I'm doing is perfectly legal, I'm just no longer providing free tech support. Edit 2. To the person who suggested I'd just forgive and forget. Would you forgive someone who stole your life savings and called you worthless? Yeah, didn't think so. Update 2. You all asked for an update, so here it is. These past 2 weeks have been a whirlwind, and karma's finally catching up to Daniel and Flora. It started with their smart home going completely haywire during Flora's big client presentation. Their Ring doorbell kept chiming, Alexa started playing music randomly, and their smart thermostat turned their house into a sauna. Flora lost 2 major clients that day. Couldn't have happened to a nicer person. But here's where it gets good. Remember Flora's under-the-table alteration business? Well, someone, definitely not me, tipped off the relevant authorities about her unlicensed operation. The look on her face when inspectors showed up during her busiest afternoon, priceless. Her regular customers were right there, watching everything unfold. Daniel stormed into Carson's office yesterday, face red as a tomato. "Where is he?" he screamed, causing a scene in front of Carson's clients. Carson's security cam caught everything, Daniel throwing things, threatening to destroy me. "Real classy, bro." Carson calmly informed him that he was trespassing and had exactly 30 seconds to leave before the police were called. Their perfect social media facade is cracking. Flora's Instagram influencer dreams are crashing. Turns out those designer bags she bought with my money weren't exactly boosting her credibility anymore. Their neighbors now know about their financial situation too. Amazing how fast news travels when someone stops maintaining their privacy settings. The breaking point. Daniel's company laptop started acting up during an important presentation. Guess he forgot who set up his work-from-home system. His boss wasn't too happy about the inappropriate content that mysteriously appeared on his screen during a Zoom call. Don't worry, it was just his own browser history. They tried damage control at the family barbecue last weekend. I wasn't there, but Aunt Wendy recorded everything on her phone. Flora had a complete meltdown when someone mentioned their gorgeous home renovations that my money paid for. "He's just jealous of our success," she shrieked, mascara running. Daniel tried to play the victim, but pulled his phone out to show some proof, accidentally revealing those forged documents instead. Their mortgage company received an anonymous tip about financial discrepancies. Now they're asking questions about the down payment. Funny how karma works. My new business is booming. Their neighbors keep hiring me. Apparently, word got around about who really maintained all their systems. I charge triple what I used to charge Daniel and Flora, and people gladly pay it. Last night, Flora left a tearful voicemail. "Please, we're sorry. We need you. Everything's falling apart." Daniel followed up with a text threatening legal action. I forwarded that to my lawyer. You know, the one handling their financial fraud case. The family's divided now. Some cousins still buy their story, but most have seen the evidence. Those recordings of them mocking me. Very convincing when played at full volume during family dinner. Carson suggested I buy their house when they inevitably have to sell it. The thought makes me smile. Oh, and remember that ledger of Flora's secret business. Copies have been accidentally left where interested parties might find them. Oops. The best part? I haven't done anything illegal. Just stopped fixing their problems and let nature take its course. They're drowning in their own lies, and I'm just watching from my new apartment's balcony, sipping coffee. More updates coming. The dominoes are still falling. Edit. Daniel just tried to get into my client's security systems. Amateur. Now I have evidence of attempted unauthorized access. The hole just keeps getting deeper. Finally update. After months of chaos, it's finally over. The house they bought with my money. It's mine now. It started with a foreclosure notice. Their mortgage company wasn't happy about the irregularities in their paperwork. Flora's unlicensed business fines didn't help. Neither did Daniel losing his job after that mysterious browser history incident during his presentation. Last week, they called a family meeting at Aunt Wendy's house. I showed up with a briefcase full of documents. Flora started screaming the moment I walked in. "You ruined us," she shrieked, mascara already running. "We lost everything because of you." I just smiled and opened my briefcase. Let's talk about who ruined who. First document, bank transfers showing my $45,000 house loan. Second, their furniture receipts using my repayment money. Third, Daniel's forged signatures. Fourth, Flora's secret business ledger. Fifth, recordings of them mocking me. The family sat in stunned silence. Daniel lunged at me, but Carson, bless him, stepped in. "Touch him and I call the police." "You worthless piece of," Daniel started. I cut him off. "Worthless. My company just bought your house." The silence was beautiful. See, while they were drowning in their problems, Carson and I started a property investment venture. When their house went into foreclosure, we swooped in. The bank was happy to deal with a cash buyer. Flora collapsed into tears. "Where will we go? What about our things?" "You have 30 days to vacate," I said. "Don't worry about the smart home system. I'll handle that myself." Daniel tried playing the family card. "I raised you after mom and dad died. And then you stole my life savings," I replied. "Consider this your parenting review." They're moving to a small apartment in the next town over. Their perfect social media life is in shambles. Flora's influencer dreams died when she had to sell her designer bags. Daniel's still job hunting. Turns out, word gets around. Yesterday, I moved into my house. The first thing I did? Reset all the smart home settings. Their codes don't work anymore. The garage door won't respond to their phones. The security cameras caught Flora trying to get in this morning. That footage is going straight to my lawyer. The best part, I'm hosting Thanksgiving this year. The whole family will be here. Except Daniel and Flora, of course. Already redecorated the dining room they bought with my money. Carson helped me set up a home office in their old master bedroom. The view of the garden Flora was so proud of is amazing. I'm thinking of hiring a new landscaper. Her precious rose bushes aren't really my style. They still text sometimes. Flora begs. Daniel threatens. I've got a nice folder of screenshots for those too. Final score. Me. One beautiful house, successful business, family support. Them, a cramped apartment, ruined reputation, and a lot of time to think about karma. Remember when they called me worthless? Funny how things work out. Edit. The aftermath has been interesting. Yesterday, I found a box on my doorstep. Old family photos Daniel kept after our parents died. There was a note. "You won. Happy now." Inside were pictures of us as kids, family vacations, birthdays. He probably thought it would make me feel guilty. Instead, I scanned them all and made a huge collage for my living room wall, right where their pretentious art used to hang. It's a reminder of how far we've come from those innocent days. The neighbors have been stopping by with housewarming gifts. Mrs. Jenkins from next door brought cookies and tea. We had a lovely chat about how Flora used to brag about her custom-designed security system. Mrs. Jenkins just signed a maintenance contract with my company. Flora's sister Salem called me today, crying about how they're living on ramen noodles now. Wanted to know if I could find it in my heart to help them one last time. I reminded her about the time she helped Flora hide their shopping sprees with my money. The call ended quickly after that. Daniel tried a new approach. Sent a long email about how he was proud of my success and how he always knew I had it in me. Funny how that pride wasn't there when he was throwing my clothes out their door. I printed the email and pinned it next to their foreclosure notice in my home office. The family group chat is wild. Cousins taking sides, aunts trying to mediate. Uncle Rob asked if I'd consider letting them rent the house back. I replied with screenshots of Daniel's threatening messages from last week. That ended that conversation. Carson suggested we frame the first dollar earned from their neighbors' contracts. It's hanging in the entryway now, right where Flora used to keep her inspirational quote board about family values. The security cameras caught them driving by again last night. Flora was taking pictures of the house. This morning, she posted a tearful Instagram story about toxic family members and forgiveness. The comments were not what she expected. Seems like her followers remember her bragging about buying my dream house. I'm remodeling their perfect kitchen next week. Getting rid of those granite countertops they bought with my repayment money. Carson knows a guy who does amazing custom work. The renovation photos will look great on my social media. Some family members still think I'm being too harsh. They weren't there during those 3 months, hearing the whispered insults, watching them spend my money while treating me like dirt. They didn't see Flora's smirk when she told me to get lost. They didn't hear Daniel laughing about tricking his stupid little brother. Well, this stupid little brother now owns their dream house, runs a successful business, and doesn't need their fake family loyalty anymore. Life has a funny way of teaching lessons. They taught me that family can betray you. I taught them that karma has perfect aim. Final edit. Daniel just texted. I hate you. I replied with a picture of me in their old master bedroom, now my beautiful home office. Left him on red after that. Some endings aren't happy. Some are just right.